Yep, it's a favourite. The Favourite is the new film from Greek writer-director Yorgos Lanthimos, who just last year delivered The Killing of a Sacred Deer, which I totally adored. This is his 5th film, and it's the first that he actually hasn't written himself, with those duties being handled by Deborah Davis and Tony McNamara. In this movie, we have the incredible pair of Rachel Weisz and Emma Stone as cousins vying for the favouritism of the English Queen Anne sometime during her rule in the early 18th century. It's historically correct in terms of the framework, like names and places, but if you were expecting one of those romantic prestige period pieces that are all about restraint and class, then wow, have you come to the wrong place. Lanthimos does what he does best with this thing, delivering a wickedly weird, wacky, and wild black comedy about a trio of women fighting with claw and tooth to gain, maintain, and then exercise power, both political and personal. The Favourite is the type of manic ride where you will just never get a secure footing, because as soon as you think you've figured out the lay of the land and you know what's going on, things will totally shapeshift and evolve, and you'll have no idea where you are anymore. And that's totally thrilling. That feeling comes from the delicious power plays from the central trio, who are at career best as far as I'm concerned. Rachel Weisz smashes through each line of dialogue with the force of a bulldozer, using her words as blades as they jab and slice at anything in her way. Emma Stone goes nastier than I've ever seen her before, and it is a sight to behold. But it is Olivia goddamn Colman that delivers the most spectacular fireworks in a film full of them. The balance of monstrous monarch and sympathetic sovereign that's defined by tragedy, anxiety, and a crippling need for validation and control is something of a searing spectacle that should not be missed. These 3 women going this hard is worth the price of admission alone, but you throw in that Lanthimos edge and gang, look out, because we are dealing with something deadly here. The film is all isolating, alienating wide angles blended with disgusting close-ups of people at their lowest, but the sheer energy that those shots are imbued with makes the ickiness of the vibe all the more exciting. It's stunning, but it's also grotesque, and that Lanthimos cinematographer Robbie Ryan duo continues to capture human beings at their most depraved and deplorable, and it is totally amazing. The whole thing just feels off, but not in the same way as The Lobster or Sacred Deer, where it was about depression and dread. The Favourite's weirdness feels like a byproduct of the craziness of its characters and their capers within this story. As always with Lanthimos, people are absurd, and that absurdity is where we find who they really are. Because of this being a Lanthimos film, it becomes kind of hard to work out if anything in the movie doesn't actually work because of how intentionally weird yet piercingly specific all of it is. So in the end, it kind of comes down to how much you vibe with what you're witnessing, and for me, I loved all of it. The sets, the costumes, the lighting, the music, all that is outstanding too, but when you roll up to The Favourite, you're here for something that's uncompromisingly crazy, and thanks to the 3 women at its centre, as well as Nicholas Hoult and Joe Alwyn, who are fantastic, you're gonna get that craziness in spades. Be aware, however, that The Favourite has more on its mind than just fun, and when it gets to its truly nasty final scenes, well, let's just say that's when it became one of my favourites of the year. So, those were my thoughts on The Favourite. Have you seen it yet? Did you like it? Did you hate it? Did you like this video? Well, of course you did. You can subscribe to Breaking Banter down there somewhere, as well as my second channel, Loverboy Media, down there somewhere. You can also follow me on Twitter at Loverboy Media and on Instagram at Breaking Banter. And if you feel like doing so, you can support our Patreon. Thank you so much to anyone who is doing that already. You guys are amazing. We're launching a bunch of cool new rewards as of January 1st, 2019. Really getting into the Patreon things and giving you guys exclusive content on there. So stay tuned for that. And yeah, I guess I'll see you guys in the next video.